Pokémon, I became a principal and hired Liu Bo as a teacher. This video is purely for entertainment and does not infringe on copyrights or laws. The rights to the novel and image belong to the original author. We do not claim ownership. Don't like waiting and want to listen to this fanfic in full now? Subscribe to our Patreon, where you'll find the best fanfics. Chapter 376 Alchemical Fire. Perhaps this is the key to our progress, or it is also a door to the unknown. Kong Xian raised his head and looked into Yan's gentle eyes. The two looked at each other in tacit understanding, and in each other's eyes, they found the motivation and confidence to move forward. Kong Xian turned his gaze to Bao's Hu again, his thoughts swirling. This mysterious orb seemed to contain endless possibilities and unknown power, and he was eager to unravel the mystery. He felt the determination and courage lurking deep within him. There is no doubt that this will be a difficult and challenging journey. In this quiet and mysterious room, Kong Xian suddenly felt a special connection between himself and the 470 orb. He felt a strange and ancient energy flowing from the orb into his body, as if everything in the world was telling him 10 stories engraved in the long river of history. As time passed, Kong Xian became more and more fascinated by this orb. He was immersed in it and couldn't extricate himself. As if he had entered a completely different world. Whenever he stared at the orb, he would see various fantastic scenes flashing before his eyes. Yan stared at the ancient book, his eyes full of curiosity and covered in these words. He seemed to see a new and mysterious world. Suddenly, a soaring in the sky fox flying outside the window caught his attention. It seems to deliberately stop on a specific page and then disappear. Yan's heart moved, and she hurriedly grabbed the book and searched for the past. He found the page that recorded the chapter about the Qinglong Empire. This story tells the story of Kang Kaiong, a son of the East, who awakened to mysterious power in a difficult situation and established a powerful and mysterious empire. The Qinglong Empire is located on the distant and unknown eastern continent, shrouded in layers of mystery. As Yan read these words, he developed great curiosity and desire to explore the unknown world. Just as he was deep in thought, Kong Xian came over and saw the determination to explore the unknown world flashing in Yan's eyes, smiling and saying, "Maybe we should bravely step into the unknown door." Yan raised her head, looked at Kong Xian's firm and confident eyes, and felt the powerful strength and wisdom contained in his arms. The two looked at each other in tacit understanding, and each saw the determination and confidence in the other's eyes. Kong Xian stood quietly at the gate of the alchemy workshop, feeling the rich metallic smell surrounding him. What was once a busy and vibrant area has now become deserted and silent. He took a deep breath and walked into the workshop. The scene unfolding before him made Kong Xian smile slightly. The machines are stained with rust, exuding the vicissitudes of time. The messy experimental equipment seems to tell the past busyness and creativity here. Kong Xian stepped on a screw that was left on the ground, making a crisp sound on the wooden floor. At this moment, a figure walked out from the corner. It was an old colleague of the alchemist, who was over 50 years old and had gray hair. He smiled happily when he saw Kong Xian, stepped forward and patted him on the shoulder. "Dean, long time no see. Are you back to repair the workshop?" asked an old colleague. Kong Xian nodded and said with a smile, "Yeah, after encountering some interesting and dangerous things outside, I decided to come back to see and rekindle the alchemical fire here." Chapter 377 Reviving the Glory of the Workshop. The old colleague smiled and patted Kong Xian on the shoulder, then pointed around and said, "You have the right time. The machines here need some repairs and adjustments. I am also preparing to come back to continue my research. Let us work together to restore the glory of the workshop." The two exchanged greetings and laughter with each other, as if time had suddenly returned to their youthful years. Kong Xian felt that the atmosphere among his old colleagues was still full of energy and passion, which made him more determined to restore the workshop. "Of course. We will restore the workshop to its former glory," Kong Xian said confidently. The two began to get busy, repairing machines and experimental equipment. They cooperated tacitly, passed tools and materials to each other, and exchanged each other's ideas and innovations. From time to time the other side Mrs. Yan took Muzuhu into a green bamboo forest, and the breeze blew catkins falling around them. The birds in the bamboo forest were chirping and seemed to be welcoming their arrival. Finding a wide grassland, Yan and Muzuhu sat down together. The sun shines on them through the sparse bamboo leaves, reflecting a warm light. "This place is really beautiful," Yan sighed, gently scratching the soft hair on Muzuhu's chin. Muzuhu, who felt extremely comfortable being scratched, threw herself into Yan's arms with a playful smile and nuzzled his palm with her nose. "Sometimes you should find a comfortable place to relax. Muzuhu said to Yan. Yan stroked the soft and smooth hair of Muzuhu and answered with a smile, "You are right. Over the years, I have been trying to restore the glory of the college, and I am indeed a little tired. However, seeing every new student thrive here, I feel that everything is worth it." Muzuhu leaned her head on Mrs. Yan's chest and said, "You are really a great and admirable person. Not only do you pay a lot for the college, but you also treat every student with care and kindness." Yan smiled and shook her head. "Actually, I'm very grateful to you too." They exuded genuine and deep affection for each other. The green bamboo forest is filled with friendship and warmth. Yanxi and Muzuhu walked along the moss-covered path, their silhouettes reflected in the green leafage. "Please give me flowers." The breeze blows and the river flows, giving people a sense of tranquility and peace. "This riverside is really beautiful," Yan said happily. He bent down and picked up the clear river water, shaking it gently in his hand. The sunlight reflected in the water beat in his palm, like a bright and warm star. Muzuhu held Yan's hand and looked at herself reflected in the water, her tail wagging non-stop. It seems to be admiring this beautiful and peaceful picture. Yan smiled and stroked Muzuhu's hair, her eyes falling on the river. He felt the vitality of the world, and rediscovered the covet for beautiful things deep in his heart. In this tranquility, sunlight shines on Yan's face through the canopy of trees. He frowned at this time. A figure walked out of the trees and raised an umbrella to block the sun. Yan looked up and was surprised to find Grass Shadow Wug standing in front of him. "Grass Shadow Wug, thank you." He expressed his gratitude gratefully. Grass Shadow Wug smiled and shook his head. "You're welcome. I happened to pass by here. If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelis. There you'll find the original version of this story, and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We're waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 378. Grass Shadow Wug. "I saw you being exposed to the sun, so I came over to help." Yan stood up and bowed to Grass Shadow Wug. "Thank you very much. Without your help, I would have sunburned." The two then sat on the grass and chatted. Yan asked curiously, "Xiao Yingwoj, are you sensitive to sunlight? Why is there a sun?" Grass Shadow Wug gently patted the 070 umbrella pole in his hand. "Actually, I am a student at the Evergreen Pokémon Academy, where I learn to master the power of plant Pokémon. I have a special ability and can control plant Pokémon to help me complete some tasks." Mr. Yan listened with great interest. He likes plant Pokémon very much and is full of expectations for the abilities of Grass Shadow Wug. "You can control plant Pokémon? That must be awesome. How did you obtain this ability?" Grass Shadow Wug smiled. "Actually, I showed an affinity for plant Pokémon when I was a child. After receiving strict training in the academy, I gradually mastered this ability." Mr. Yan listened attentively. He suddenly remembered the mysterious orb in his hand and asked after hesitating for a moment, "Grass Shadow Wug, do you know this?" He carefully took out the orb in his hand. A trace of curiosity flashed in Grass Shadow Wug's eyes. "What is this?" He stretched out his fingers and gently touched the surface of the orb, and the surrounding grass suddenly emitted a faint light. Yan looked at the reflected light on the orb and was filled with doubts. "I don't know what it is exactly, but every time I pick it up, it gives off a feeling like some kind of power." Grass Shadow Wug frowned and thought seriously. "This orb looks very mysterious. Maybe it contains a special energy. If you are willing, I can help you research it." Yan nodded gratefully. "Thank you very much, Xiao Yingwoj. I have always been curious about this orb and hope to find out the secret." Then, Yan came to the workshop to look for Kong Xian. Sunlight shines through the windows of the workshop on Kong Xian and Yan, who are repairing an ancient mechanical device. Yan focuses on using small tools to connect parts. Suddenly, there was a soft sound in Kong Xian's pocket, and he took out a letter from the Qinglong Empire. Yan stopped what she was doing and looked at Kong Xian curiously. Kong Xian quickly tore open the envelope and stared at the handwriting on the letter. His brows gradually unfurled, showing excitement. "This is a letter from the Azure Dragon Empire. They said they found clues about a mysterious Pokemon race in the secret book." Kong Xian said excitedly. Yan raised her head, her eyes flickering. He knew that finding the mysterious race was very important to Kong Xian and would be an exciting and difficult adventure. However, this clue gave them hope. "That's great. We finally have a breakthrough. We should go to the Qinglong Empire immediately to check this secret book." Yan said with anticipation. 4.7 Kong Xian nodded and put the letter back into his pocket. He stood up, put his hands on Yan's shoulders, and looked at him firmly. You did a great job, Yan. You have always been my right-hand man, and I believe we can find this mysterious race together. Yan felt Kong Xian's encouragement and trust, and a firm determination surged in her heart. Period. Chapter 379. A Whole New Realm. Thank you for your trust, Kong Xian. We will definitely succeed, Yan said with confidence. Kong Xian and Yan continued to sit in the workshop repairing the orb, and they had been focusing on this task for several days. Suddenly, the orb began to emit a strange light, flashing with strange and beautiful colors, as if it was conveying some kind of message. Kong Xian's and Yan's eyes both lit up. They stopped what they were doing and stared at the orb closely. Excitement and curiosity filled their hearts, and they exchanged glances with each other, pursuing the secrets revealed by the orb in tacit understanding. As time passed, the light became brighter and brighter, and slowly floated around the workshop. A mysterious and powerful energy spread, forming ripples in the air. Kong Xian and Yan were brought to a whole new level. They bathed in the colorful lucas and felt a vast and ancient energy surrounding their bodies. These energies made them feel like they were in an illusion, as if they had touched the edge of an unknown world. As time went by, the light emitted by the orb became more and more intense, as if it was lighting up the entire room. The colorful lights surrounded Kong Xian and Yan, making them feel both excited and nervous. This strange change indicates that the orb is about to reveal its true identity. Kong Xian and Yan held each other's hands tightly. Feeling uneasy, they silently exchanged a firm and encouraging look and decided to bravely face the coming facts. As the orb emits a dazzling white light, the room immediately becomes brighter. Kong Xian and Yan couldn't help but close their eyes, put their hands gently in front of their eyes, and at the same time gathered their physical and mental strength to protect themselves. When they slowly opened their eyes, a spectacular and strange scene appeared in front of them. The room has completely disappeared, and around them is a vast and mysterious starry sky. There are countless shining stars floating in the starry sky, forming colorful light bands in the darkness. Kong Xian and Yan feel as if they are floating in the universe, surrounded by the wonderful power of nature. Looking at the scene in front of him, Kong Xian couldn't help but sigh. Where is this place? We are actually in such a beautiful and mysterious world. A look of amazement appeared on Yan's face, and he said, perhaps this is the message conveyed to us by the orb, leading us into a new realm. The two couldn't help but look at the orb and found that it was suspended in the air, emitting a mysterious and powerful energy. Just when they were in suspense, the orb suddenly burst open, and a special ancient Pokémon hatched from it. This Pokémon had pure white wings and sharp eyes. It spread its wings and flew around the room. Kong Xian and Yan couldn't help but stare at this scene in stunned silence, completely shocked by the sight before them. This is a white shadow death dragon. Yan muttered to herself, the legendary guardian Pokémon. Kong Xian was also so excited that he could not contain himself. The two of them hugged each other to celebrate this surprising moment. The white shadow dead dragon spreads its wings and flies high, emitting powerful energy fluctuations from its body. We have actually been recognized by the white shadow dead dragon, Yan said excitedly. This is a huge honor and responsibility. That's right, Kong Xian said solemnly. We will become the masters of the white shadow death dragon and protect the Pokémon Academy and the entire Evergreen Pokémon world. Chapter 380. White Shadow Dead Dragon. The two were full of curiosity and anticipation for the appearance of this special ancient Pokémon, and they also knew that they were about to face more challenges and adventures, but they firmly believe that they will continue to be brave enough to face everything. The white shadow dead dragon landed in front of Kong Xian and Yan Shi, and it stared at the two with intelligent eyes. Kong Xian felt a powerful force coming from the white shadow dead dragon, as if it was telling them that he had unlimited potential. Kong Xian and Yan watched the white shadow dead dragon land in front of them and felt powerful energy fluctuations. Kong Xian smiled and stretched out his hand, gently touching the wings of the white shadow dead dragon. The pure white feathers are soft and warm, as if conveying a mysterious power. Welcome to us, white shadow dead dragon, Kong Xian said. We will provide you with the safest and most comfortable place to live. Yan also moved closer excitedly, staring intently at this ancient Pokémon. You are so beautiful and majestic, white shadow death dragon, he said softly. I believe we will become the best partners. The white shadow dead dragon stared at Kong Xian and Yan with intelligent eyes, as if he understood their words. It spread its wings, slowly flew away from the ground, and flew high in the room. It emits a burst of holy and kind light and emits powerful energy fluctuations at this moment. Soaring in the sky suddenly became dark. A cold wind blew through, causing the warm air to turn cold instantly. The ground began to tremble, and a huge black light pillar rose from the riverside. This beam of light quickly rolled towards, soaring in the sky like a black cloud over a city, exuding a terrifying and depressing aura. This sudden change made Mizuho feel very frightened and uneasy. It quickly jumped into the woods to hide, clinging to the trunk of the tree. Looking around with alert eyes, Mizuho could feel the evil power brought by this black beam of light, and it knew that it had to be careful. Kong Xian and Yan immediately realized that things were not simple. They looked at each other, firm determination flashing in their eyes. Kong Xian watched in surprise as the white shadow dead dragon grew rapidly and showed its powerful strength. He stared at this contest Pokemon intently, and he couldn't help but have a doubt in his heart. How does the white shadow death dragon possess such abilities and beautiful appearance? Suddenly, Kong Xian remembered the orb he had found by the Moss River. He recalled the scene when he first discovered the orb, as well as the mysterious and powerful energy fluctuations. A timid speculation came to mind. He hurriedly bid farewell to the Yan family and hurried to the jungle by the river. When he arrived at the location where he discovered the orb, he was faced with a huge crack. Kong Xian stared at the scene in front of him in astonishment, his heart full of doubts. Could it be that the orb has disappeared? He said to himself. Kong Xian carefully observed the cracks, trying to find any clues to solve the puzzle. However, nothing remains but the crack itself, the good one. The doubts in my heart are even stronger. It's all so unusual. Kong Xian realized that the power in the orb must have given birth to the white shadow death dragon, and this power was beyond his imagination. This made him start to think about what kind of secrets and power were hidden behind the orb. Suddenly, a bright light burst out from the crack, forming a huge energy vortex. Kong Xian's eyes widened, and he looked at the bright light in horror. Chapter 381. A sharp claw. His powerful Pokemon felt the threat of this energy and couldn't help clenching its fists tightly. He knew he couldn't compete with such a powerful creature, but he still stood his ground. Suddenly, the white shadow dead dragon rushed out of the energy vortex. Its whole body exudes dazzling light, showing amazing strength and contest appearance. Kong Xian felt a threat emanating from the white shadow dead dragon, but he did not flinch. Kong Xian, be careful. Yan yelled hurriedly when she saw this. However, Kong Xian was already a step too late. The white shadow death dragon easily dodged Kong Xian's attack and counterattacked with a sharp claw at lightning speed. Kong Xian fell to the ground in pain, feeling that the energy in his body was rapidly draining. This Pokemon is too powerful. Faced with a ruthless rival, Kong Xian felt a sense of powerlessness in his heart. He understood that he could no longer compete with this white shadow dead dragon. The white shadow dead dragon stood proudly in front of Kong Xian, with a hint of contempt in his eyes. Kong Xian lay on the ground in pain, feeling the rapid loss of energy in his body. He tried to open his eyes and saw the white shadow of the dead dragon standing proudly in front of him, with a hint of contempt in his eyes. The surrounding trees were knocked down by strong energy fluctuations, and a huge gap opened in the soil. The air is electric, full of tension and excitement. Upon seeing this, Yan rushed to Kong Xian and wanted to help him get up. However, Bai Shu had no intention of letting him succeed. It slowly turned around and launched a breath attack at Yan without hesitation. Yan's splash avoided the attack, but the attack turned the surrounding trees into ashes. Other creatures fled the scene one after another. Feeling extremely small and powerless in front of this powerful force, Kong Xian struggled to stand up and stared at the white shadow dead dragon. Even though he knew he couldn't compete with this Pokemon, he still stood his ground. He knew that only he could prevent the white shadow death dragon from causing greater damage to this land. Baying dead dragon looked back at Kong Xian. The contempt in his eyes became more obvious. It opened the dual wing bead and turned into a stream of light that rushed towards Kong Yuan. Kong Xian closed his eyes, feeling the coming tremendous pressure. Suddenly, a powerful energy surged out of his body, forming a powerful protective shield around him. The white shadow dead dragon tackled in front of the mask, making a deafening noise. The scene suddenly fell into chaos. Many creatures around were watching this scene from a distance, not knowing what would happen next, but they were surprised by this sudden event. Kong Xian clenched his fists and stabilized his breathing. He opened his eyes and was surprised to find a layer of snow-white scales growing on the white shadow dead dragon's body, and its transparent eyes shone with endless mysterious aura. He truly felt the power emanating from this Pokemon, which was far beyond what he had previously expected. Yan stared at the hatched white shadow dragon with the same surprise. He had never seen such a beautiful and mysterious Pokemon. He whispered to Kong Xian, This is a unique treasure. We should give it a special name. Kong Xian took a deep breath, pondered for a moment and then nodded. You are right. This is one of our most precious discoveries. He looked around, and then stared at the white shadow of the dead dragon in front of him. Period. Chapter 382 Naming. Kong Xian stared at the white shadow dead dragon and gently stroked its white and smooth scales. He felt the wisdom and power coming from this mysterious creature. Yan quietly waited for Kong Xian's response, hoping that this special name could perfectly echo the characteristics of the white shadow dead dragon. Kong Xian thought for a moment, then smiled and said to Ms. Yan, Zio. Yi is a good name, but it may not accurately express the unique charm of Shadow Death Dragon. I think we can find more special and unique characteristics from it to name it. A trace of disappointment flashed in Yan's eyes, but he quickly understood Kong Xian's intention. So, Dean, do you have any suggestions? She asked. Kong Xian narrowed his eyes and looked at the white shadow dead dragon carefully. Suddenly, he noticed the circles of contest and graceful lines on its tail. I found an interesting detail, he said. Look at these lines, they seem to be telling a story. We can start from these lines and give it a more meaningful name. Yan was curious, picked up a quill pen, and lightly traced these lines on the paper. His brush strokes are smooth and skillful, showing the subtleties of texture. Kong Xian stared at the paper in Yan's hand, his eyes circling around and imagining the stories hidden in these contest lines. He realized that this white shadow dead dragon had endless potential and secrets. He could feel the power contained in it, but he also knew that this was just the tip of the iceberg. Mr. Yan, Kong Xian broke the silence with a gentle and deep voice. We need more time to observe and study the white shadow death dragon. Is it really worth giving it a special name? Yan frowned slightly. Dean, are you saying Bayang Dead Dragon is just a temporary name? She looked at Kong Xian with some confusion. Kong Xian nodded. That's right. I believe that before we get to know more deeply, there are more surprises waiting for us in the white shadow dead dragon. Yan nodded with a wry smile. Although she was a little disappointed, she understood Kong Xian's decision. Then, let's temporarily name it White Shadow Death Dragon. He sighed. Although it's not perfect, it is unique anyway. Please give me flowers. Kong Xian smiled and patted Yan's shoulder and said comfortingly, we have to wait patiently. Only through in-depth observation and research can we find a name that really suits it. As they discussed, the white shadow dead dragon seemed to feel their attention. It paced back and forth in the room, its tail wagging slightly. The light reflected from its jade white scales danced in the air. Yan and Kong Xian stared at the white shadow dead dragon and examined its attributes intently. They used the instruments in their hands to carefully measure the energy flowing on the white shadow death dragon. Yan frowned and murmured to herself, the attributes of the white shadow death dragon exceeded our expectations. It has powerful strength and wisdom, which we have never seen in ancient Pokémon scene. Kong Xian smiled and nodded, his eyes shining with excitement. That's right, Yan. This new Pokémon will be a very potential and challenging partner. He paused and continued, the white shadow death dragon not only has superb attack skills, but also has excellent defensive capabilities and low IQ. Chapter 383 The Best Partner. Compared to other ancient Pokémon, it is an absolutely unique entity. Yan took a deep breath after hearing this. This means that we can achieve more victories in battles by cooperating with the white shadow death dragon. She looked at Kong Xian. Dean, how do you think we should cultivate it? Kong Xian pondered for a moment and replied, first of all, we must establish trust and connection with the white shadow dead dragon. 823 We need to spend more time with it to understand its personality and habits. Yan nodded in agreement. Yes, we need to let it feel our care and care for it. Only in this way will it be more willing to cooperate with us. 21 Kong Xian walked to the white shadow dead dragon and gently stroked its jade white scales. White shadow dead dragon, your unique existence. I believe you have endless potential. He looked into the bright and intelligent eyes of the white shadow death dragon. Whether it's in battle or in the academy, I hope we can become the best partners. The white shadow dead dragon seemed to understand what Kong Xian said. After staring at him quietly for a while, he nodded slightly and couldn't help but smile when he saw this scene. It seems that it has accepted you. Yan and Kong Xian returned to the Pokémon Academy, And what greeted them was a scene full of joy. Flowers are blooming in the college and the sun shines brightly on the buildings, giving the entire campus a warm glow. Yan and Kong Xian happily walked into the academy gate and hugged each other to celebrate their feat of successfully taming the White Shadow Death Dragon. They felt a great joy and glory, which meant that they would win more victories in battles and bring more honors to the academy. A group of students saw their return and greeted their return in front of the school gate. They jumped and shouted, "Congratulations to Dean and Teacher Yan for successfully taming the White Shadow Death Dragon." Yan smiled and nodded, "Thank you everyone. We are a team, and only through our joint efforts can we achieve such achievements." Kong Xian also joined celebrate. "That's right. This is the hard work and belief of all of us. We will continue to work hard to win more victories for the academy." After 3 months of hard work, Yan and Kong Xian have become familiar with the White Shadow Death Dragon's ability. The training room in the academy was transformed into a spacious and bright place, with a comfortable and warm nest inside for the White Shadow Death Dragon to rest. Yan Shi and Kong Xian took turns to contact and communicate with the Undead Dragon. They sat on the floor next to the lair, gently stroking the silvery scales of the White Shadow Death Dragon. Kong Xian looked at its wise and profound eyes, and felt an indescribable feeling in his heart. Yan smiled and said to the White Shadow Death Dragon, "You know, we have been working hard for you since you came to the academy. We hope that you can grow into powerful and free Pokémon." Kong Xian also took over, "Yes, we will do our best to cultivate your skills and strengthen 3.8. We will always be by your side, whether in battle or in life." The White Shadow Death Dragon seemed to understand their expectations for itself. It lowered its head and gently rubbed Kong Xian's palm, making a gentle purr. Yan watched the interaction between them with a smile, and her heart was filled with joy. Period. Chapter 384, Waiting to be Excavated. We have taught you many skills and combat strategies, and next, we will continue to strengthen your strength. Kong Xian nodded and said, "Yes. We will work with you to study more about your own abilities and abilities. We believe that there is endless potential in you waiting to be tapped." They stared at the White Shadow Dead Dragon together, their eyes full of expectation. During this time, they have established a deep emotional bond with the White Shadow Death Dragon, full of trust and love for it. Yan took out a red herbal bag from her backpack. "Now it is time 14 for you to learn some new skills." He ground the medicinal herbs into powder and carefully applied it to the body of the White Shadow Death Dragon. "This is a special herb that can increase your strength and speed," he explained. "We will use progressive training methods to continuously improve your abilities." Kong Xian echoed and added, "Yes, we will let you gradually adapt to these power improvements. We will slowly learn and explore with you." He stroked the wings of the White Shadow Death Dragon and felt the energy areas gathered on its body. Yan took out an amber gem. "This is a prop that can enhance your attack power. We will help you integrate it into your own power." The two began to patiently teach the White Shadow Death Dragon different skills and strengthen its power through personal demonstration and repeated practice. They gave White Shadow Death Dragon meticulous care and coaching. After weeks of careful preparations, Kong Xian and Yan finally prepared a grand celebration to celebrate their success. The entire college turned into a joyful stage, with colorful flags and t-shirts decorating the campus. Kong Xian and Yan worked closely with other students, teachers, and staff to divide and collaborate on tasks. Yan posted a huge poster on the gate of the academy with a photo of Flash the White Shadow Dragon and the word "Celebrate." The integration of the White Shadow Dragon Flash into the Evergreen Pokemon family. He looked back at Kong Xian with a smile and said, "This way, everyone can know about our upcoming celebration." Kong Xian nodded in agreement and said, "Yes, in this way, we can share our joy with everyone." He looked around and saw teachers setting up the venue and students preparing programs. The entire college was filled with a tense and happy atmosphere. The stage has been set up and the audience seats are neatly arranged. The food stalls exude a tempting aroma, and bursts of laughter can be heard from the crowd. Yan and Kong Xian walked to the side of the stage. They looked at each other, then smiled and started organizing the show. The students performed various talents and showed off their unique skills. Some people dance gracefully, some play sweet music, and some show their ability to control fire or water in their hands. After the celebration, Yan and Kong Xian began the preparations for their upcoming journey to find the ancient mysterious race. They returned to their offices, browsed various books, organized equipment, and exchanged experiences with some other experienced teachers in the college. Kong Xian sat at the table and carefully studied a history book on an ancient mysterious race. The pages of the book record that this mysterious race lived in ancient times and possessed great power and wisdom. Ms. Yan stood by the window and looked at the campus through the glass. We have to be fully prepared. If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelis. There you'll find the original version of this story and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We're waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 385 Alice Teacher. Yan said, "This trip will not be easy." Kong Xian raised his head, smiled and said to him, "Yes, but I believe we can succeed. We have selected some students and teachers, all of whom are extraordinary and experienced people." Yan nodded in agreement and said, "Yes, they will be our strong support." While the two were continuing their discussion, there was a sudden knock on the door. "Come in." Kong Xian said. The door was pushed open, and a young unidentified teacher walked in. "Dean Kong, Vice Dean Yan, I heard that you are going to search for the ancient mysterious race. Let me give you some suggestions," she said. "Welcome. To join you, Teacher Alice." Mrs. Yan warmly welcomed her to her seat. After Teacher Alice sat down, she took out an ancient map and put it on the table. "Based on my research, I think these mysterious races may be hiding in some long-lost place. This map may give us some clues." Kong Xian glanced at the map and frowned slightly. "Looks like we need the archaeologists' help," he said. While they were discussing, their mouth was knocked again. This time several students walked in. "Dean Kong, Vice President Yan, we also want to join the search for the mysterious race," a young male student said excitedly. Kong Xian and Yan looked at each other with warm smiles. "Thank you for your support and determination. We will go on an unknown adventure together," Yan encouraged. In the following days, Yan and Kong Xian discussed and communicated with other teachers in the college to solicit their suggestions and opinions on the trip. They jointly researched information, organized equipment, and formulated a detailed action plan. At this time, the Evergreen Pokémon Academy of the celebration still maintained a noisy atmosphere. Streamers and flowers decorate every corner, emitting the fragrant scent of attract. The hall of the academy is filled with various food stalls, attracting Pokémon who come to participate in the celebration. Kong Xian stood on the main stage behind a hanging veil stone and beat a metal drum. "Dear classmates, faculty and staff, and dear guests, thank you all for participating in our college's grand celebration this year. I declare that this celebration has officially begun," Kong Xian announced boldly. As his voice fell, the entire venue suddenly burst into joy. Fireworks bloom in the sky, releasing dazzling light. Cheers and laughter erupted from the crowd. Mrs. Yan stood aside, looking at the lively scene, and her mood became happy. He turned around and walked towards Kong Xian and said to him, "This celebration is so wonderful. Our teachers and students are all participating in it, which is really proud." Kong Xian smiled and nodded. "Yes, everyone has put in a lot of effort. This is also an important moment for our college." Moss Ali stood in the corner where the crowd gathered, limos, holding a bottle of mysterious wine. This bottle of wine is a treasure that he has carefully collected over the years. It exudes a rich aroma and makes people feel happy when smelling it. He looked at this unique wine prepared by himself, and his heart was filled with infinite pride. Throughout the celebration, various food stalls have aroused the appetite and curiosity of Pokémon, and everyone has tasted various delicacies. However, in this noisy and lively occasion, I left the altar. Period. Chapter 386 Celebration. Moss Ali intends to bring you some unusual experiences with its special collection of dew wine. He carefully poured the mysterious wine into a glass, then gently rolled up his sleeves and walked to the stage. Kong Xian noticed the glass in his hand and the special atmosphere, stopped the celebration and asked, "Moss Ali, do you have anything special to share with us?" Moss Ali smiled slightly. "Dean Kong Xian, please let me introduce to you a bottle of dew wine that I have been visiting for a long time. This is a rare delicacy, and I hope to share it with everyone." His words conveyed confidence and expectation. After hearing these words, 483 people's eyes turned to the glass in Moss Ali's hand. Then, they felt the intoxicating aroma spreading, as if the entire venue was surrounded by it. At this moment they couldn't help but become curious, and everyone gathered around, looking forward to tasting this mysterious dew wine. Yan also joined the crowd to watch. He was curious and surprised by King Ali. Kong Xian took the cup, took a sip, and said with a smile, The aroma is so tempting. After he finished speaking, he took a sip, then after drinking it, he burst into laughter. Biba, good wine. It's really wonderful. Some people in the other crowd also tasted the mysterious dew wine, enjoying it and making praises at the same time. Everyone was attracted by the mellow and deeply intoxicating taste, and expressed their gratitude and praise to Miss Ali. Mrs. Yan looked at everyone's satisfied expressions and felt happy in her heart. He whispered to Kong Xian, Miss Ali is really amazing, and his bottle of dew wine is really one of a kind. Kong Xian nodded in agreement and added, his wine gave our celebration a deeper meaning. This moment will go down as unparalleled in the history of the Evergreen Pokémon Academy. The celebration continued under the mysterious aroma of attract. People tasted fine wine and enjoyed the taste and joy brought by food stalls. Yan's originally happy mood gradually turned into depression, and he felt a little depressed after drinking a few glasses of wine. He sat quietly in the corner and stopped actively participating in other people's conversations and activities. He gently shook the wine glass in his hand, with a trace of worry in his eyes. Kong Xian noticed Yan's mood changes and decided to drink with him. He walked up to Yan and said to him with a smile, Yan, what happened? You look a little unhappy. Yan raised his head and glanced at Kong Xian, and smiled slightly. It's nothing serious, I just thought of some things in the past. Kong Xian sat next to Mr. Yan, filled his wine glass and took a sip of the aroma emanating from the glass. He took a deep breath and then said to Yan, everyone will have shadows and painful moments in the past, but we cannot let them hinder us from moving forward. Hearing these words, Yan felt Kong Xian's care and understanding. He smiled slightly, quietly raised the wine glass to his mouth, and carefully tasted the wine. Inside he felt that he was slowly releasing the troubles in his heart, as if he had found some relief. Kong Xian, you are right. The past is in the past, and I can't let them bother me. Yan nodded solemnly in agreement. Kong Xian raised his wine glass with a smile and gently touched the glass in Yan's hand. Period. Chapter 387. Take a rest. Let us celebrate this special moment together. May this wine bring us more happiness and courage. Yan also smiled and touched Kong Xian's cup. Thank you, Kong Xian. I am really grateful for your support and care for me all the time. Yan's mood was not relieved, and he looked more and more tired. The joy and bustle of the crowd only made him feel more lonely and helpless on this day of celebration. He was troubled by some unpleasant memories deep in his heart. Kong Xian saw this and was worried about his physical condition, so he decided to help him back to his room to rest. He knows that sometimes people need to quiet down the shadows deep inside themselves. Gently holding Yan's shaking arm, Kong Xian approached his ear and said, Yan, you look really tired. Maybe it will be better to go back to your room and rest. Mrs. Yan turned her head and nodded slightly. Although he was not good at expressing his emotions, he felt a little warm when he saw Kong Xian caring about him so much. The two slowly walked out of the ceremony venue and passed through the empty and quiet grove in front of the boarding house. Moonlight shines on leafage, reflecting the silver light of a tract. The breeze blew, and the leafage rustled. Kong Xian gently supported Yan and asked him with concern if he needed a rest. Yan, do you want me to accompany you back to your room to rest? Yan felt Kong Xian's warmth and care and nodded. Thank you, Kong Xian. I'm really tired. The two walked through the grove together and entered Yan's boarding house. The room was filled with a faint smell of sandalwood, making it seem peaceful and comfortable. Kong Xian helped Yan sit slowly on the edge of the bed. He noticed that Yan's eyes still showed a trace of worry and exhaustion. He frowned and gently wiped the sweat from Yan's face. Yan, you have always been a strong person. But we also need to provide ourselves with some moments of rest and relaxation. Mrs. Yan lowered her head and nodded silently. He understands that he cannot stay immersed in the pain of the past. He needs to look forward and find new hope and courage. At this moment, a dusk snow fox standing proudly at the door attracted their attention. It is covered with a layer of silver light, and its beauty reveals a kind of mystery and purity. Please give me flowers. Yan and Kong Xian looked at each other, both becoming curious about this ancient and rare Pokemon. Mizuhu lightly opened her red lips. I am Mizuhu. I heard that you are going to embark on a journey to find the lost ancient Pokemon race. I want to join you. Yan and Kong Xian looked at each other, then looked at Mizuhu again. Yan smiled and said, Mizuhu, why do you want to join our journey? Because I also covet adventure and explore the unknown. Mizuhu replied, I heard that you are searching for the lost ancient Pokemon race at the Help Evergreen Pokemon Academy. This is a journey full of excitement and challenges. I want to participate in the initiative. Kong Xian smiled and nodded. Mizuhu, You are a very brave and adventurous Pokemon and covet. If you are willing to join us, we welcome you to join. When Mewtwo heard this, her joy was beyond words. It bowed to Yan and Kong Xian. Thank you. I will try my best to help you find the lost ancient Pokemon race and protect yourself. Mrs. Yan smiled, stretched out her hand and gently touched the soft fur of Mewtwo. Period. Chapter 388. The voice of Yuntaolong. Welcome to join, Mewtwo. Let's face unknown challenges together and create our own legend. Kong Xian also cast a look of approval. The journey is about to begin. Let's explore the magical and unknown world together. Just as they were immersed in excitement, a clear and sweet ringing sound suddenly came. Kong Xian immediately took out a small and exquisite communicator from his arms. This is the 840 sound of Yuntaolong. Kong Xian announced with a serious look. Both Yan and Mewtwo looked at the communicator nervously, and could clearly hear Yuntaolong's anxious voice. Yan, Kong Xian, I have important news to tell you. According to the latest intelligence, the secret books of the Qingyang Empire contain important clues about the lost ancient mysterious race. This clue may add more fantasy and suspense to our journey. Before you set off, I suggest you investigate this clue first to better prepare for the journey. Yan and Kong Xian looked at each other, both showing surprise. They also know that this is a rare opportunity, and being able to obtain important information about the ancient Pokemon race in advance will definitely help their journey. Yuntaolong, we have received your message. Yan responded solemnly, thank you for providing this clue. We will follow up and investigate it as soon as possible. Yuntaolong said comfortingly, very well, proceed with caution. I hope you can find clues about the ancient Pokemon race and make more breakthroughs on your journey. I wish you good luck. The sound in the communicator gradually disappeared, leaving a silence. Yan and Kong Xian looked at each other, filled with expectations. After hearing this news, we must seize the opportunity to investigate first. Kong Xian said, this can also provide more clues and help for our journey. Yan nodded in agreement. Yes, we can't miss this opportunity. Let's investigate first and collect more information about the ancient Pokemon race before setting off. Mewtwo also expressed support. I am also willing to participate in the investigation and contribute to our journey. After hearing what Yuntaolong said, both Yan and Kong Xian were excited. They know that this clue will be a rare opportunity to add more fantasy and suspense to their journey, so they immediately decided to investigate this clue first to better prepare for the journey. In order to decipher possible clues, Yan and Kong Xian decided to search for the secret book of the Qingyang Empire. They began to plan their trip and prepare some necessary tools, hoping to find relevant information about the lost ancient mysterious race from these secret books. The first event is to find the location of the Qingyang Empire's secret book according to the information provided by Yuntaolong. These secret books were hidden in the palace of the Qingyang Empire and were kept by the royal family for generations. Yan and Kong Xian decided to go to the palace to investigate. We need to act as soon as possible. Kong Xian said, the Qingyang Empire has complex and dangerous terrain, and we must try to avoid unnecessary trouble. 2.9. Yan nodded in agreement. Yes, we need to be careful and make sure we can successfully enter the palace and obtain those secret books. The second event is preparing tools and equipment. Yan and Kong Xian knew they would need some special tools to decipher the codes and hidden messages that might exist in the secret books. They started packing their bags. Period. Chapter 389. The Lost Ancient Mysterious Race. Prepare various magical items such as puzzle props, translators and search engines. These tools will be instrumental in our investigation at the palace. Yan said, we need to be fully prepared to ensure that we can successfully obtain those secret books. The third event is to develop a detailed plan. Yan and Kong Xian realized that entering the palace would not be easy, so they decided to formulate a careful plan of action. They studied the map of the Qingyang Imperial Palace and analyzed possible alarm systems and guard patrol routes. We need to understand all possible scenarios. 14 inches. Kong Xian said, only in this way can we respond quickly when we encounter obstacles. Yan nodded in agreement. Yes, we have to be prepared for all eventualities and make sure we get the job done. After detailed discussions and planning, Yan and Kong Xian were finally fully prepared for their investigation. They are full of expectations, hoping to find clues about the lost ancient mysterious race from the secret books of the Qingyang Empire. This will be a challenging mission, Yan said, but I believe we can succeed. Kong Xian smiled and nodded. Yes, we are confident. Yan and Kong Xian began to pack their bags and put the necessities into their backpacks. They were excited and nervous, and couldn't wait to start this adventure in search of a lost, ancient, mysterious race. Yan carefully placed the puzzle tools into a special box to ensure they would not be damaged during the journey. He debugged the translator several times to confirm that it could accurately translate the language of the Yang Empire. Kong Xian is responsible for organizing the search engine. He put them into a portable leather case and checked whether each magical instrument was functioning properly. He is very familiar with these tools as he uses them frequently to explore and solve puzzles. We should also bring some backup supplies, Yan suggested, such as food, water and first aid supplies. Kong Xian nodded in agreement. Yes, we cannot take it lightly. It is wise to prepare some extra supplies as a precaution. The two of them discussed the difficulties and challenges they might encounter while sorting it out. They know that it is not easy to conduct investigations in the Qingyang Imperial Palace, and they may encounter obstacles from guards and alarm systems, but they are full of confidence and encourage each other. We must remain vigilant and always prepared, Kong Xian said. As long as we act according to the plan, I believe we can succeed. Yan smiled and nodded. Yes, we must deal with every situation calmly. We are fully prepared. After the preparations were completed, the two of them picked up their backpacks and took the first step towards the unknown ahead with great expectations. Yan and Kong Xian stepped into the Pokémon Academy and were immediately shocked by the sight before them. The entire college was decorated with joy. Lights were decorated, flowers were in bloom, and the atmosphere of celebrate was permeated. Colorful lanterns swayed on the branches, like fireworks blooming in the night sky. The light ball floating in the air emits a soft and warm light, illuminating the college like daylight. When the footprints fall, Contest's flower pattern will bloom on the ground. Every picture is full of mystery and magic. Period. Chapter 390 Blessings and Good Luck. Cheerful laughter and words of blessing came from all directions. Yan and Kong Xian gradually realized that they had become the center of attention. Students gathered one after another to pay them high respect and praise. Teacher Yan, Dean Kong Xian. A young boy ran over and bowed to the two of them. Thank you very much for leading us on this mysterious adventure. We are really looking forward to it. Yan smiled and nodded, feeling the enthusiasm and trust from the students. Kong Xian looked at these young people and felt a surge of motivation in his heart. You are the best disciples of our academy. I believe you can complete this task, Kong Xian said proudly, his eyes full of expectation. The celebrate ceremony was held in the campus square, with endless music and cheers. There are various Pokémon plays and performances on the stage, showcasing their unique abilities and charm. Yan and Kong Xian were also invited to the stage to receive blessings and praises from many people. The two smiled under the spotlight and expressed their gratitude to students and staff. Thank you everyone, Yan said loudly. We hope that through this adventure trip, we can find traces of the lost, ancient, mysterious race and bring back more valuable knowledge to everyone. The audience burst into warm and excited applause, and images of the mysterious race were projected on the screen behind them. These pictures display the ancient and mysterious civilization in front of everyone, arousing endless curiosity and covet. The student felt the expectations and encouragement from Yan and Kong Xian, and an outpouring of enthusiasm arose in his heart. He bowed solemnly to the two teachers, then turned and walked towards the celebration site. When he walked onto the stage, all eyes were on him. The celebration scene was filled with thunderous cheers, laughter and singing, and the atmosphere was extremely warm. Was-Ali took the stage with a wine glass filled with a mysterious liquid. This stew wine is a precious artifact passed down from the ancient Pokémon race. It is said that drinking it can enhance the power of Pokémon and also bring blessings and good luck. Was-Ali raised the wine glass high, and under the sunlight, the crystal clear liquid exuded an alluring aroma. The stage spins merrily to the sweet music. Who took the wine glass handed over by Was-Ali and looked at it carefully. This was his first opportunity to taste stew wine, and he was looking forward to it. He took a small sip, and a stream of cool liquid flowed down his throat and spread to every cell in his body in an instant. Suddenly, he felt that his Pokémon's power had received a new boost. An invisible force seemed to flow within his body, making him feel that there was infinite energy to mobilize. Seeing Mewtwo's energetic look, others also raised their glasses to celebrate with him. Everyone exchanged blessings and words with laughter and joy, feeling the friendship and warmth between each other in this solemn atmosphere. After the ceremony, the celebration scene gradually calmed down, and the laughter slowly dissipated. People left the stage one after another and returned to their respective positions. Mr. Yan stood there, looking at his colleagues who had obtained master level certification one by one, Feeling a little disappointed in his heart, he had been preparing for this ceremony for a long time. He thought he would be recognized as a master, but the reality made him a little frustrated. Period. Chapter 391 Master Level Certification. He looked at Kong Xian and suddenly found Kong Xian walking from the edge of the stage. Kong Xian's eyes were deep and warm, and people who walked by him couldn't help but bow and salute. Yan felt heartbroken. It seemed that the dean did not have the same expectations and encouragement for him as he did for others. He sighed softly and turned around to leave. At this moment, Kong Xian walked up to Yan and patted him on the shoulder. Yan looked up at the dean, her eyes full of confusion. Master. Yan, did you miss the master level certification? Kong Xian asked with a smile. Yan nodded. His throat seemed to be pressed by a large 790 stone, and he was unable to say a word. Kong Xian patted Yan's back gently and said gently, "Don't be disappointed. This does not mean that your efforts are worthless. Everyone has their own timing and growth rate." After hearing Kong Xian's words, Yan felt relieved. He cheered up again, his eyes shining with determination. "Thank you, Dean. I will continue my efforts and strive to be recognized in the next ceremony," Yan said solemnly. Kong Xian smiled and nodded. "I believe you will do it. Remember, in this world, not everyone can succeed in the first try." Kong Xian smiled and extended his arm to Yan, and they walked out of the celebration together to a quiet bar. The door of the bar was open, and through the window you could see the bright lights inside. The two found a quiet corner to sit down, surrounded by the strong aroma of wine and melodious music. Yan looked at the wine glass placed on the table. Saffron-colored liquid was faintly exuding from the glass, and it shone warmly under the light. Kong Xian raised his wine glass, smiled and said to Yan, "Come, have a drink and celebrate. Although you failed to obtain the master level certification, you performed well in this ceremony. I believe you will be able to find the path to your success." Road, Yan looked at Kong Xian's deep and warm eyes and felt that her heart was soothed a lot. He gently picked up the wine glass and clinked it with Kong Xian. When the two raised their glasses, they made a crisp and sweet sound. The two drank the glass of wine with a smile. Yan gently tasted the aroma in the glass, and her mood gradually calmed down. At this time, Kong Xian noticed that Yan was a little depressed, so he took the initiative to chat with him. "Did you know? Master level certification is not the only criterion for measuring a person's strength. Everyone has their own specialties and strengths. The skills and talents you have shown in top battles are enough to make me admire you." After hearing what Kong Xian said, Yan's eyes flashed with surprise and hope. They exchanged their experiences and insights in the Pokémon world with each other. The conversation between the two gradually became more relaxed, and Yan gradually came out of her loss. "Every setback is an opportunity for growth," Kong Xian continued. "Mistakes and failures are just hurdles on the road to success." Yan raised her head and looked at the dean, seeing deep encouragement and expectation in his eyes. "Dean Kong Xian, thank you for your encouragement and help. I will continue to work hard and strive to perform better in the next ceremony," Yan said solemnly. Kong Xian smiled and nodded. "I believe you will do it. Don't forget that success requires hard work and the determination to never give up." If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelis. There you'll find the original version of this story, and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We're waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 392 The Secret of Race. After Yan drank a few glasses of wine, her mood became even more depressed. His eyes began to dim, and his whole person lost its previous vitality. Kong Xian frowned as he watched Yan gradually lose control. He realized that Yan had drunk a little too much and was worried that it would be unsafe for him to be alone in the hotel. So, Confucius Institute decided to stretch out its arms and Yan stood up. "It's getting late. Let's go back to the room and rest," Kong Xian said gently to Mrs. Yan. Yan stood up slightly swaying and felt Kong Xian's solid support. He knew that he needed help from others to get through this difficult moment. The two walked out of the bar together and walked through the bustling streets in the refreshing night breeze. Yan was top-heavy and could only rely on Kong Xian's support to move forward. Just as Kong Xian was helping Yan to the door of the room, a soft white shadow suddenly appeared from the darkness, blocking their way. Both Yan and Kong Xian were very surprised. They did not expect that Mizuhu was also interested in this journey. They exchanged glances and looked at Mizuhu with expectation and curiosity. The feathery tail of Mizuhu Fox swayed slightly, and its eyes shone with an unusually intelligent light. It stretched out its slender claws and pointed at Yan, and let out a crisp growl sound. Kong Xian stared at Zuhu deeply, with strong curiosity surging in his heart. Zuhu, are you also interested in this journey? Kong Xian asked gently. Zuhu nodded, keenly aware that there were some opportunities and secrets hidden in this journey. Mrs. Yan looked at Zuhu, her heart filled with gratitude and joy. Maybe this journey is not just his search alone. He can embark on this unknown journey with Kong Xian and Zuhu. I'm glad that you want to join us, Twilight Fox. This journey means a lot to me, and I hope that we can face the challenge together and discover more secrets about the ancient Pokémon race, Yan said firmly. Kong Xian smiled and nodded. There was no need to say anything between them, they already understood each other. Early the next morning, Kong Xian and Yan Shi are busy preparing everything for their new journey. The room was filled with the noise of packing bags and checking maps. Yan folded the clothes carefully and put them into her luggage. Please give me flower 0. He carefully put it into an ancient notebook, which was the only clue left by his father. Kong Xian stood in front of the window, overlooking the hurried crowd. He felt filled with anticipation and nervousness. This journey is an important moment not only for Yan, but also for the Evergreen Pokemon Academy. 0. While Yan was checking Xinxiang, he suddenly remembered his cell phone. When he picked up his phone and unlocked the screen, a new message flashed before his eyes. That was a text message from Yan Taolong. Ms. Yan, I have important news to tell you. Please reply as soon as possible. The message was short and mysterious. A mixture of uneasiness and curiosity arose in Yan's heart, and he replied anxiously, please tell me what this important news is. We are preparing to leave, time is very tight. After leaving the phone, Yan turned to Kong Xian and said, Yun Taolong has important news to tell us. He said we should reply as soon as possible. Yan's voice revealed curiosity and anxiety. 0. Kong Xian put down his hands and looked out the window, turned around and walked to Yan's side. He smiled and said 9. Chapter 393. The Key to the Mystery of Origin. It looks like our journey has a new beginning. No matter what this news is, we can't miss any clues that may help the Evergreen Pokemon Academy. Yan nodded in agreement. He picked up his phone and replied to Yun Taolong, please tell us what this important news is. We are very anxious. After a while, a reply to Yun Taolong's text message came from the phone. The secret books of the Qingyang Empire contain clues about the lost ancient mysterious race of 783, Yan and Kong Xian seemed to be inspired, and an unknown scene seemed to flash before their eyes. Strong excitement and anticipation suddenly arose in their hearts. Yan thought of the ancient notebook her father had mentioned, which might be related to this clue. This clue may be the key to solving the mystery of the origin of Evergreen Pokemon. Kong Xian's tone was full of excitement and covet. He turned to Yan and said, we must investigate this clue and find the secret book of the Qingyang Empire. There is an ancient notebook here, which may be the treasure we need to start our journey. Yan immediately understood what Kong Xian meant. He took out the ancient notebook from his luggage and handed it to Kong Xian carefully. Kong Xian took the notebook and gently touched its simple cover. He felt that it was the most important present his father had left for him a few days ago. He read this notebook again and found clues about the lost race in it. Yan asked expectantly, did you find any clues in the notebook? Kong Xian smiled and replied, I found something related to the Qingyang Empire in my father's notes. It is said that the Qingyang Empire once collected a lot of information about various mysterious races, and there may be clues related to the lost ancient races in their secret books. After hearing this, Mrs. Yan's eyes flashed with a glimmer of hope. Their goal has been clear. They want to find the secret book of the Qingyang Empire to learn more about the lost ancient race. How should we investigate this clue? Yan asked excitedly. Kong Xian thought for a moment and said, we can ask some historians and document experts if they have any clues about the secret books of the Qingyang Empire. Perhaps some relevant information can also be found in other ancient documents. Kong Xian continued. Guo Yan handed him the ancient notebook and held it gently in his hand. He felt a heavy responsibility, and he knew that he had to open this notebook and find detailed clues about the secrets of the Qingyang Empire and the lost race. Yan looked at Kong Xian expectantly and asked, did you find any clues in father's notes? Kong Xian smiled and replied, I found something about the Qingyang Empire in my father's notes. According to his records, the Qingyang Empire was once a powerful and mysterious kingdom, where there were many secret books about mysterious races. This may be the best starting point for us to find clues to the lost race. After hearing this, Mrs. Yan's face flashed with a glimmer of hope. They have determined their goal. They want to find the Yang Empire secret book to learn more about the lost ancient race. How should we investigate this clue? Yan asked excitedly. Kong Xian thought for a moment and said, "We can first collect some information about the Qingyang Empire and the ancient mysterious race to learn more background information." Chapter 394 Shadow Steel. Yan nodded in agreement, and they decided to conduct these investigations. Before setting off, they began to collect various books, documents and records, especially information related to the Qingyang Empire and the lost race. Kong Xian read every detail in depth, trying to find clues. In front of Kong Xian and Yan Shi were a pile of collected information about the Qingyang Empire and the lost race. The quiet library is filled with a faint fragrance of books, and the sunlight outside the window shines in through the topless panes, reflecting on the faces of the two people. Kong Xian carefully read through a 14-year history of the Qingyang Empire, and he found that it mentioned a mysterious race, the Apostles of Guangke. This race is said to have been born with power from the God of Light, and possesses extraordinary magical talents and combat skills. However, the Apostle of Light suddenly disappeared for some unknown reason. Yan was concentrating on reading another document about the lost race, Chronicle of the Shadow Steel. According to documentary records, during the Qingyang Empire era, there was a mysterious relic called the Shadow Steel. As long as you see this ancient stone tablet with your own eyes, you can get clues to the era of the lost race. Kong Xian, look at the description of the Shadow Steel here. Maybe we can find clues to the lost race through this clue. Yan excitedly pointed to a page in the book and said to Kong Xian. Kong Xian looked away, raised his head and looked at Yan, smiling. "It's very possible. We need to find this Shadow Steel and further explore whether there are other ruins nearby, but this task is not easy. We need more information about the Qingyang Empire era and ways to find clues." Yan nodded shyly, indicating that she understood what Kong Xian meant. The two of them discussed the matter and decided to collaborate with other historians and document experts. They need to assist others with their knowledge and perspective to better understand the history of old times. At the same time, we also hope that through cooperation we can exchange discoveries and ideas with each other. Yan and Kong Xian returned to the Evergreen Pokémon Academy with excitement, where the atmosphere was full of wisdom and knowledge. As soon as they step into the gate of the college, they can feel the strong aroma of books filling the air. The two of them walk straight to the library, which was the primary destination for exploring the secret books of the Qingyang Empire. The library is grand and spectacular. Like a huge maze, countless ancient books are placed on the towering bookshelves. Their covers have turned yellow, but they still maintain their mysterious and long stories. Yan Shi and Kong Xian energetically began to search for secrets about the Qingyang Empire and the lost race. They suddenly found an old and wise Pokemon teacher sitting in the corner, studying an ancient book covered in dust. Yan and Kong Xian walked over to say hello to teacher, and expressed their keen interest in studying the secrets of the Qingyang Empire in depth. Teacher raised his head and glanced at Yan and Kong Xian through his glasses. He smiled and nodded, showing his interest in them. "This is my friend Yan. We are studying ancient books about the Qingyang Empire and the lost race, hoping to find some clues to uncover the mysteries of this history." Kong Xian politely introduced himself and Yan. Teacher smiled and said, "You have come to the right place. I am the person in charge of the library and a historian." Chapter 395 In-Depth Understanding. I heard that you are very interested in the Qingyang Empire and the lost race, and I have some valuable clues and coaching to provide you. Yan Shi and Kong Xian's eyes lit up, and they couldn't wait to get closer to teacher, looking forward to hearing more about the secrets of the Qingyang Empire. Teacher said, pointing to a heavy book on the bookshelf, "This Qingyang Empire secret book records a lot of information about the existence of the mysterious race and how to use its power, but in-depth research is required to truly understand the secrets. You can start with this book first." Yan and Kong Xian took the books and were full of expectations. They looked at teacher gratefully and said, "Thank you very much for your coaching and help. We will definitely study this secret book carefully and try our best to find more clues about the Qingyang Empire and the lost race." Teacher smiled and nodded, looking full of expectation. "I believe you can do it. If you have any questions or need further discussion, please come to me at any time. In addition, there are other historians and documentary experts who can collaborate with you to exchange findings and ideas." Yan and Kong Xian were excited about the idea of collaboration, knowing that through collaboration they could broaden their perspectives and deepen their understanding. When Yan and Kong Xian returned to the academy, They immediately decided to share the plan with Mizuhu. They believe that Mizuhu will become an indispensable partner in the search for the mysterious race. Yan and Kong Xian came to a place in the forest that they had agreed with Mizuhu, and they waited uneasily. After a moment, a fox with pure white fur and crystal clear eyes slowly emerged from the bushes. Mizuhu's eyes were like lightning, and he looked at the two of them first. Then, its eyes became serious. "Why did you come to me?" It made a clear and sweet sound like a silver bell. Kong Xian spoke first. "We found some clues about the Qingyang Empire and the lost race. We deeply feel that this history hides too many mysteries, so we decided to search for these lost ancient mysterious races and uncover their true identities. We believe you have unique insights in this field and hope to cooperate with you." Zuhu narrowed his eyes, seeming to be very interested in what the two said. "You want to understand the origins and use of power of ancient mysterious races, right? This is a big challenge, but it is also very interesting to me," Yan continued. "Yes, we hope to find clues and restore the history of the lost race. We believe this knowledge goes far beyond everything we know now and will bring about a huge transformation in the entire Pokémon world. We at Covet ask for your careful coaching and a more comprehensive perspective." After listening to the two people's words, Mizuhu's expression became solemn and thoughtful. "If you want to find the lost race, you must first look for the legends that have been forgotten and hidden in the long river of history. I can tell you some of the places I know about their existence and possible clues." Kong Xian asked, "Excuse me, where do you think we should start looking?" After thinking for a moment, Mizuhu said with a sly expression, "There is a forgotten mysterious ancient city, which is said to be the place where the lost race once lived. Although this city has been abandoned for many years, there may still be some clues." Chapter 396 Adventure. If you want to learn more about the lost race, start here. Yan Shi and Kong Xian were moved, and they could not suppress their excitement. The search for clues to a lost race finally has concrete direction. They expressed their gratitude to Mizuhu and expressed their willingness to go to the mysterious ancient city immediately. At this time, Yun Taolong suddenly appeared and told Kong Xian that he was willing to join. Kong Xian and Yan Shi looked at Yun Taolong in stunned silence. They did not expect that such a powerful dragon Zunxiang would be willing to join their adventure. Yun Taolong's body is tall and majestic, with dark blue scales shining all over its body, each one revealing powerful power. Yun Taolong smiled and said, "I heard that you are going to find the lost ancient mysterious race. I am very interested in this. As a dragon warrior, I have powerful water power and wisdom. I believe I can bring you great support." Yan and Kong Xian felt extremely grateful in their hearts. They know that Yun Taolong is a valuable and powerful partner who will not only provide them with strength support, but also provide valuable wisdom and experience in their adventures. Yan stepped forward to shake hands, with Yun Taolong and expressed her heartfelt welcome. "Thank you very much for your willingness to join us. We need a strong and intelligent warrior like you to help us find clues to the lost race." Yun Taolong smiled and replied, "I believe this adventure will be a challenge, but it will also be an opportunity for me to grow. In the process of searching for lost races and uncovering mysterious mysteries, I hope to communicate and learn with you, and make some contribution to the Pokémon world." Kong Xian's eyes shone with anticipation and determination. "We welcome you very much, Yun Taolong. We will work together to achieve our goals." Yan, Kong Xian, and Yun Taolong had an in-depth conversation. They shared each other's insights and experiences about searching for the lost ancient mysterious race, and agreed on a plan of action based on the clues provided by Mizuhu. The three decided to go to the forgotten mysterious ancient city to start their search journey. The city has been abandoned for many years and is covered by forests. They believe that there may be many clues related to the lost race in this ancient city. Yan and Kong Xian patiently packed their heavy backpacks. They are ready to embark on a journey to find a lost, ancient, mysterious race. Various necessary items, equipment and information are placed on the table, and each item is carefully marked. Kong Xian said in a steady and firm tone, "This adventure is very important to us, and we must be fully prepared. The lost race is a mysterious and powerful existence, and we will face unknown dangers and challenges." Yan nodded seriously in agreement. "Yes. We need to ensure that we can cope with various situations during the adventure. We have prepared all the items that may be used suddenly." Mizu Fox flew in, bringing a bag full of food and herbs. "These are precious herbs and ingredients that I personally collected. They can help you recover your strength and heal your injuries during your adventure." Gratitude welled up in her heart. and Mrs. Yan walked over and held Mizuhu's soft and warm paw. Mizuhu, thank you for your concern and help. You are an important partner in our adventure. Chapter 397 Passwords and Mechanisms. Mizuhu responded with a smile, I am very happy to do something for you. This adventure is also an opportunity for me to learn and grow. Then, Yun Taolong also walked in. His powerful aura filled the entire room, attracting the attention of Kong Xian and Yan. Kong Xian smiled and said, Yun Taolong, do you think there is anything else we need to prepare? Yun Taolong thought for a moment and then answered, we are quite well prepared. But I suggest that we have an all-hands meeting before we set off to share our expectations and ideas for this adventure, as well as the challenges we face. Everyone agreed and decided to hold a meeting immediately. They gathered together and each expressed his or her opinion on the importance and expectations of the adventure. Yan was the first to speak. Searching for a lost race is a task full of challenges and historical significance. If we can successfully find them and gain experience and wisdom from them, it will have a profound impact on the entire Pokémon world. Kong Xian continued, this adventure is also very important to me personally. Mizuhu added, I look forward to the adventure time with everyone. During the journey, I hope to learn more about nature and herbs, and discover more treasures. Yun Taolong smiled and said, for me, this adventure is an opportunity to grow. Finding the lost race and uncovering the mysterious mysteries will allow my wisdom and strength to be tempered and improved. Everyone worked together and formed a tacit cooperative relationship. After many meetings and discussions, they formulated a detailed action plan and decided to go to the forgotten mysterious ancient city to start their search journey. The team of Yan Shi, Kong Xian, Mizuhu, Yun Taolong and Was Ali stood confidently in front of the Kingayang secret book. They are ready to face this challenging puzzle and hope to successfully solve the mystery hidden in the secret book. Yan carefully observed the Kingayang secret book, trying to find some clues. Kong Xian stretched out his finger and lightly scratched the secret book, trying to trigger some kind of trigger mechanism. Mizuhu concentrated on looking for possible symbols or passwords in the secret book. Yun Taolong uses his powerful wisdom and insight to think about problems. Please give me flowers, he whispered to himself. This Kingayang secret book seems simple, but it contains extremely complex codes and mechanisms. Was Ali also showed enthusiasm. He gathered the herbal essence on his body and exuded a burst of attract aroma. He hoped the herbs would guide them on the right path. Yan suddenly noticed some faintly glowing symbols on the Kingayang secret book. He immediately told others this important clue. Kong Xian took a deep breath and said to them, we have to calm down and concentrate. This puzzle seems difficult, but as long as we cooperate, we will be able to solve it. Yun Taolong thought for a moment and then came up with a guess. These glowing symbols may be the key to the code, forming a specific sequence on the secret book. If we can find the correct sequence and press them, we may be able to open the secret book. The team members silently considered Yun Taolong's suggestion. They started trying to trigger the symbols in different orders while watching closely to see if anything happened on the cheat sheet. After several attempts, Mizuhu suddenly saw some faint vibrations on the secret book. Chapter 398 Getting Rewarded. It shouted excitedly, I think we found the right one. Keep pressing other glowing symbols. Yan Shi and Kong Xian followed Mizuhu's guidance and pressed the remaining luminous symbols at the same time as the last symbol was pressed. The entire Kingayang secret book emitted a dazzling light. After the vibration and light stopped, the Kingayang secret book slowly opened. The team's eyes almost widened as they saw the valuable information hidden in the secret 610 book. Yan couldn't help but said excitedly, we succeeded. These are ancient texts and words of wisdom from a lost race. Kong Xian looked at the team proudly and nodded approvingly. You have done a great job. We have finally revealed the full story of Kingayang's secret book. Kong Xian, Yan Shi, Mizuhu, Yun Taolong and King Mao Aoli looked at Kingayang. They were filled with shock and excitement when they read the passage in Yang's secret book about the clues to the lost ancient Pokémon clan. This is a treasure buried deep in the history of the Pokémon world, and they will become the explorers who will uncover the secret. Kong Xian frowned and pondered for a moment, then said, based on the geographical features described in this passage, we have reason to believe that the clues to the lost ancient Pokémon family are located in the Arceus Mountains. Yan nodded in agreement. Yes, the Arceus Mountains is a place full of mystery and unknowns. Many powerful Pokémon tribes have lived there in history. Mizuhu stared closely at the detailed and complex illustrations on the secret book. It said, According to these illustrations, we need to pass through the closed Daniel Forest and pass through the harsh and cold ice-covered valley. Only by passing these tests, can we reach the realm of the lost Pokemon clan. Yan Taolong thought for a moment, and then made an important suggestion. Before we embark on this unknown journey, we should first go to the library of Evergreen Pokemon Academy to check the information about the lost Pokemon clan. Maybe these information can help us provide more clues about their abilities and lore. Moss Ollie contributed his own opinion. I heard that there is a rare plant in the growth of Daniel Forest that can protect travelers from cold and bad weather, called Ice Star. If we can carry enough the stars of ice and snow, I believe they will give us power and protection. After close discussion and communication, the 5-person team finally formulated the next action plan. Kong Xian will take everyone to the Evergreen Pokemon Academy library to check for relevant information, and take this opportunity to ask for advice from other knowledgeable teachers in the academy who are familiar with the history of the Arceus Mountains. Yan is responsible for preparing Ice and Snow Star to ensure that the team has a smooth experience in Daniel Forest. Twilight Snow Fox will investigate the specific location of the Snow Star in Daniel Forest and provide guidance for everyone's travels. Yan Taolong prepared all the necessary equipment and potions to cope with bad weather and possible dangers. Moss Ollie will do his best to collect more ice stars to provide help and support from time to time during the journey. The 5-person team divides labor and cooperates tacitly, and everyone is full of curiosity and expectations for the unknown. Kong Xian's efforts finally paid off through continuous practice and research. He applied the knowledge of White Shadow Dead Dragon into practice and achieved huge breakthroughs. This achievement impressed the Evergreen Pokemon Academy and promoted him to the highest level instructor. Period. If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelist. There you'll find the original version of this story, and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We're waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 399: A Rare Opportunity. At the time of Celebrate Kong Xian's promotion, the 5-person team held a small gathering. The spacious conference room was filled with a festive atmosphere. The table was filled with all kinds of food and drinks, and the 5 people sat together and had a happy gathering. Yan raised her glass and said, "Congratulations, Kong Xian, for your breakthrough. You have worked hard and finally received the recognition you deserve." Everyone raised their glasses to congratulate and said, "Congratulations, Dean Yuan, Mew." Zuhu smiled and held Kong Xian's hand and said, "You are the bravest person in our Team 14, and you deserve it, Yun." Taolong nodded in admiration and praised, "You are not only an outstanding dean, but also an admirable scholar. Your promotion is a recognition of your continuous efforts." Moss Ollie said with emotion, "I still remember when we first formed a team, you showed extraordinary strength and wisdom. This is really an incredible journey." Kong Xian accepted everyone's blessings and praises with a smile. He recalled with emotion the hardships and gains he had experienced in the past period. "Without you, I would not have been able to achieve these achievements. It is you who have given me strength and support." Kong Xian said. Everyone looked at each other and smiled, knowing the importance of teamwork. At the Celebrate meeting, Moss Ollie suddenly had an expression of hesitation and thinking on his face. Everyone noticed his strangeness and immediately stopped making noise. "What's wrong, Moss Ollie?" asked Yan curiously. Moss Ollie put away his smile and replied solemnly, "I received an unexpected mission. A mysterious organization asked me to take on the task of finding the lost ancient Pokemon clan." Everyone fell into deep thought after hearing the news. Kong Xian took a deep breath and said seriously, "The lost ancient Pokemon clan is an extremely important force in our Pokemon world. They possess wisdom and power that have been passed down for thousands of years. If they can be found and guided back, it will have a great impact on the entire Pokemon world. It will be a huge breakthrough for the Pokemon world." Moss Ollie nodded in agreement. "Indeed, this task is very important and very challenging. They asked me to complete the task within half a year and successfully guide the return of the ancient Pokemon clan Mew." Zuhu held Moss Ollie's hand tightly and said, "Moss, this task may separate us for a while, but I believe you will be able to do it, Yun." Taolong tried his best to lower his emotions and said firmly, "Moss Ollie, you are the most intelligent and powerful person among us. This task requires your ability and intelligence. We believe you can do it." Yan smiled and said, "Moss Ollie, this is a rare opportunity." 793. It also means unlimited opportunities and growth. I hope you can move forward bravely and pursue greater goals. After hearing the encouragement and support from everyone, Mwasali gradually became filled with determination. Thank you everyone for your trust and support in me. Mwasali said gratefully, I will do my best to complete this mission and bring back the lost ancient Pokemon clan. Everyone looked at his firm eyes and felt proud of him. Yan said softly, Dean Kong Xian, do you have a confidence in him? Kong Xian smiled slightly and replied, Mwasali is an outstanding young Pokemon. I believe he is qualified for this task. Chapter 400 Completely different. Yan nodded in praise and said, you are right. He is an amazing young man. The group continued to discuss the mission, offering Mwasali their advice and support. At the moment of parting, everyone hugged each other and expressed their deepest blessings and wishes. At this moment, Yan suddenly rushed into his residence panting, with sweat on his forehead. His face was twisted, as if he had been struck by a huge astonish or rage. Kong Xian watched anxiously as Yan came in, and immediately stepped forward and asked with concern, what's wrong with you? What happened? Yan didn't answer, but clenched her fists tightly, her eyes full of doubts and uneasiness. Mwasali looked at Yan's back as he left quickly. He felt that he could not understand Yan's emotional changes at this time. Did he do something wrong? He quickly caught up and tried to communicate with Yan, but the other party was obviously unwilling to talk to him. Please wait, Mwasali called softly, but no matter what, he could not attract the other party's attention. Yan continued to walk forward without stopping, as if the Mwas behind her didn't exist. This made Mwasali full of confusion and uneasiness. He began to think about whether he had done something wrong and whether he had offended the Yan family. Mwasali came to a secluded corner and immersed himself in his own thoughts. He recalled every bit of his previous interactions with Yan and tried to find out what might have caused this reaction. However, as he tried to remember, there were only those calm and friendly scenes in his mind. Am I worrying too much? Mwasali asked himself in a low voice, but there was still a sense of unease lingering deep inside him. He and Yan have always been friends who trust and support each other, and have never had any conflicts, but the Yan family in front of her was completely different from the previous Yan family, which made Mwasali even more confused. He decided to try to talk to Yan again, at least to find out what happened. Mwasali approached Yan carefully, trying to find a gentle and peaceful way to communicate. Kong Xian walked up to Yan with good intentions, patted him on the shoulder, smiled and said, no matter what happens, I believe you can handle it. Yan stopped slightly and turned around to look at Shu. He felt the care and understanding in Kong Shu's eyes, and the confusion in his heart gradually dissipated. He nodded his thanks and hung the jade pendant on his body. This jade pendant shines with soft light and exudes a soothing power. Yan held the jade pendant tightly and felt the peace and tranquility in her heart. Thank you, Kong Xian. Yan said gratefully, I don't know why I have such emotional fluctuations, but the understanding and encouragement you gave me make me feel very warm. Kong Xian smiled and shook his head. It is normal for friends to support and understand each other. We will all be by your side. Yan's eyes gradually brightened, and he felt Kong Xian's sincerity and friendliness. He took a deep breath and tried to get rid of the previous anxiety and doubts. The most important thing right now is to solve the immediate problem. Kong Xian, I need you to help me find a way to control my emotions. Yan couldn't help but reveal her inner troubles to Kong Xian. Period. End of this chapter. Thank you very much for reaching the end. Don't forget to like. Looking for more exclusive content and immediate access? Subscribe to our Patreon. Remember, every like, subscription, or donation encourages us to continue. Thanks to everyone. See you in the next video.